viewpoints and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to Scarefest Television. The original broadcast date is January 10th, 2025, and yes, we had to call an audible tonight. My co-host is the lovely and talented Joanna Hochstetter, who's been absent from Scarefest TV for a while. Have you even co-hosted since Scarefest?
I have not.
That's
I barely
depressing.
remembered what to do. I know.
She couldn't get her camera to come on tonight, which incidentally, everybody, if I suddenly, you can see my green screen has just been randomly shutting off if I move a certain way. And I've got lights there, so it's not a lighting problem, but it's probably just me doing everything on the cheap. So anyway, what happened was, we did have Lynn Eastman Rossi. She'd wanted to come on the show. We got her scheduled. And I had given her basically the wrong day of the week somehow for everything I gave her was wrong. I've done that for like a day, but I've never done that across the board. I gave her Saturdays all through January. And guess what we don't do on Saturdays? Scarefest TV. So anyway, she's going to come on next Friday, but she already had plans for tonight. That is mea culpa, completely my fault. Because I mean, we had the text string and looked and yep, there it was, wrong as hell. So what you been doing, Joanna?
Well, I am settling into a new job, so that's why I've been out, because my commute is so much longer. So, but yeah, it's going pretty well, and I'm really liking it. And people are finding out about the fishing show that I do, so that's kind of been a hot topic that's been fun to deal with.
Plug it. I didn't get a calendar this year. I got lazy.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
I think Jessa Flux was in it as well, man.
Okay, I might have to order a calendar yet.
I get it.
You forgot.
Well, okay, the preview you showed did not have your favorite outfit of mine, if I remember correctly. I don't even remember what my favorite outfit is. I just remember the one you wore for the calendar was not. Oh, did you have the one on that has his face on it or something?
That was on there because it was made one of the most memorable moments of the year. Is when I surprised him. I put his face on my swimsuit and he died. It was great.
So anyway, plug the show. It's called Hook, Line, and Chill, right?
Correct.
And you can find that on YouTube, everybody. Hook, Line, and Chill, and I'm sure from there they have links to it's on, I believe, Patreon.
Yes, there's a Patreon as well. Yes.
Yeah. And then you can get a calendar, and like I said, I had the calendar last year. I did not get one this year. May still do it because now I'm a fan of at least two people that's in the calendar. Okay.
Right on.
We do have we're just going to go ahead. Basically, everybody, we could not cancel tonight's show because we have our first headliner announcement. Boy, my beard looks rough tonight. First headliner announcement. I'm not going to tease it other than to say it is the worst kept secret on the internet so far this year. So there. In other words, a little research and you could have found out. So, what we're going to talk about in the meantime to waste time is we're going to catch up. I want to, what we've been watching. Remember how during COVID, everybody, we used to do those, what we're watching because it was just whatever we could do to waste time. Well, that's what we're going to do tonight. Now, personally, I saw a lot of people recommend Squid Games. The Netflix, believe it's filmed, it's a Korean series. A lot of people recommended it. I'm liking it, but it's not living up to what I thought everybody, how good they said it was.
Okay, so, they hyped it up too much.
Well, I expect Netflix to do it. Like their #1 show for God knows how long. But I mean, I saw a lot of people online that said, "Oh, this is so cool," and it's the concept is cool, but it just to me it's okay. The only thing now I did watch. Have you seen the Mad Max movies? The 2 new ones?
Yeah.
I got to finally. They came to. I think it was Netflix. Got to see them.
Correct.
Did you? Which did you like better, Fury Road or Furiosa?
That's really hard, but I'd have to say Fury Road because Charlize Theron. I mean, she's amazing.
Okay. Granted, I liked Furiosa better. I thought the story moved along better. There was something about it. I was expecting it because I guess that's is it a sequel? Because it's a sequel of a remake, I guess. I don't even know how you would describe it. But, I like Fury Road, don't get me wrong, but I was not expecting anything out of Furiosa. So maybe that's why I liked it so much. I went into it with really low expectations, but it rose to the occasion.
Yeah, indeed.
But in the meantime, though, you say, tell me about Smile, because you've seen Smile too. I haven't even watched 1 yet, so that shows what a big horror fan I am. But how is it, and give me a quick synopsis of the plot.
Okay. So it's like this dark entity that's it's through trauma. Like if you witness somebody getting like killed in a super traumatic way, it's the trauma that almost attaches itself to the person that, witnessed the murder or actually it's like usually a suicide. And it's almost like a virus and it attaches itself to you and it kind of gets in your head and it messes with your mind where you see things that aren't actually happening. And then you just see these random people with this crazy smile. Now,
okay, let me clarify. If you're infected, then you see the smiles. The people are not really smiling.
Correct.
See, now I did not. I thought that it was like some disease that was spreading or whatever that was making people have these stupid ass grins. So I need to go back and watch the first one because I was completely wrong. Completely.
Yes. But no, and then it's super gory, super gross kills. And I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but I like the second one better because it was more centered around this pop star that had, all these addiction issues and her own, trauma to deal with. So that just kind of added to the complexity.
Yeah. Raymond Newsom says, trauma bond attachment. Yay. Okay. That was from the chat room. Everybody, now, just to clarify, now this is another thing. Last week, when Brandon was on, he talked about how we need to, instead of doing this, the Scarefest TV, yes, we're going to keep doing that. But we need to go in and do these short video clips to give people instructions, to let them know what's going on. They won't watch the whole show, a lot of them, but they'll watch a 60-second, 2-minute, 3-minute movie. So I sent it through the software and I edited down where he was explaining that we were not going to sell more tickets, but we would have bigger space, more convention center. Okay? Simple concept. No, not selling any more tickets. More space lets the crowd have more room to move around.
Okay.
Every goddamn comment on it was, you all were too crowded. Nobody bothered to watch the video is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
And by the third one or so, it's starting to piss me off. Another comment was that you all need a bigger venue, to which I had to explain, well, this is it. That's the only one in Lexington. And somebody, now I hate to admit, I agreed with them. When they built that big convention center, they only put one elevator, one public elevator, got freight elevator, one public elevator on that end of the building. That is actually, they should have, as big as that place is, yeah. So I had to agree with that one. But yeah, most of the comments were, and one of them, I actually, maybe two of them, I actually went in and said, that is literally what the video is about. So that's, yeah. So that is, I just had to throw that in there. Okay. So I need to go watch Smile is what, because you sound like you liked it quite a bit.
I definitely did. And, it's like this more, the more modern horror is kind of growing on me. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, you need to go watch it in part 2 as well.
Speaking of modern horror, I'm looking forward to talking with Lynn Eastman Rossi, because I watched, first of all, and I'm surprised nobody has remade the one she's famous for. God, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank.
Are you talking about Phantasm? Or
yeah, Phantasm. I'm surprised nobody's remade Phantasm. Because not the best edited, but it was back then. You had to do it the hard way. But then she was in another one called Night Demon.
Yes, Night of the Demon.
No,
correct.
Not Night of the Demon. I don't. Or it might be Night of the Demon, but it's not demons.
Yes, it's demon singular, not plural.
Okay, yeah, yes. Okay. Have you watched that?
I tried. Don't tell her I said that.
Actually, I watched it all the way through, and I promise everybody, I'm going to bring this up to her. It was, first of all, her part is in the beginning. It doesn't affect the rest of it. The movie is so bad that it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, but now it's not the kind that's purposely bad. So so you can apply that to it. I want to do a mystery science theater thing on that, on it so badly. If I could get permission to do that, I would so much do a showing of that, because it sets up every joke as you go. And so yeah, I just wanted to bring that up.
All right, I'll have to give it another shot.
Seriously, watch it. Honestly, and now the worst part about it, though, is it's one of those, I think they literally copied it from a VCR to a DVD, and that's what they're showing. It definitely could use a little AI remastering, which actually you can do for free nowadays. They might want to look into that. The quality on the video is so poor.
It was rough.
Yeah, that took away from the experience. But if you go into it just thinking, "Oh my God, this is so 80s," which it wasn't. It was so 70s, and that's another thing I want to ask her. I want to know when that movie was actually filmed, because it was very, very dated, but it's not the dates I remember. So.
Got it.
Yeah, so there's some questions I have about that movie. Let's go ahead and do our first commercial break, and everybody, we'll be right back, and we're going to talk about Terrifier 3 when we come back.
Are you a fan of horror movies, books, comics, music, and collectibles? Rue Morgue magazine is for you. Subscribe today to receive 6 or 12 print issues annually, and join me, executive editor Andrea Subissati, on an ongoing journey through the horror genre of the past, present, and future. Plus, get access to unmissable special editions such as A Century of Witches, 50 Years of Gore Cinema, British horror movies, and so much more. Rue Morgue, the world's premier horror and culture and entertainment magazine since 1997. Accept no substitute.
Welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest Television. We're just bullshitting our way to tonight's announcement at the bottom of the hour. I do want to welcome back one of our longtime viewers. He was actually a listener, then a viewer, Eric Morrison. He took a little break from social media, but he's back, and I see him in the chat room. Welcome back, Eric. And we got a really good turnout tonight. Considering it's just me and you, I think they were expecting a whole lot out of you.
Oh.
So, yeah. So. You did dress nice tonight, though.
Yes, I
All
tried.
of my female co-hosts, they start out dressing really nice, and then they the longer they're around me, I just know, it's a wonder you haven't stopped combing your hair at this point. I'm just going to say it. But now you've stepped your game up tonight. I appreciate that, and the viewers do. Terrifier 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I take it you've seen all 3 of them now.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start. I've seen 1 and 2, so tell me, what's your opinion of the other 2?
The first one, it had to grow on me. I was a little just like, well, this is just supposed to be shocking and, make me cringe. And then I just started thinking more about it and gaining a new appreciation. Cause it's like, you know what, I was like, when was the last really famous creepy clown? I mean, Pennywise, I might be missing some. So and I'm like, and this is a different kind of clown. This is more of a mime, and he's silent in it, and he still has so much of a personality. So when you start digging a little bit more into the character, and I'm like, okay, you know what, I see it. It definitely has a big place in my heart now.
See, now I picked out 1 as an instant classic. I mean, okay. I like the movie. I like the story. I like the character. I loved Catherine Corcoran. Just saying. But although that upside down chainsaw or hacksaw thing was just off the charts. Now, that being said, okay, now 2, what was your opinion of 2?
2, it seemed like there were, there was more character development, and it felt like, and the execution to me was better. And yeah, I really, loved Sienna's character and her brother, the bond and all of that. And then the story with her dad, I thought that was, I was like, oh, it, made it almost like heartwarming and touching.
I wouldn't have gone that far. Okay, now, T2, I did like it. I didn't like it as much as the first one. I don't know what it was about it. For one thing, I don't feel like it had the... Now, this is a weird thing to say about a slasher film, but because of a good chunk of the movie, the way it was set, it didn't feel as dark, and there was something about that first one being in that dark warehouse that just gave it this feel, and in the shitty little diner and everything. So that, I mean, that may not even be what bothered me about it, but there was just something there that I said, nah, it's good. It was a good sequel, but it just, now, let's talk about the threequel, as they're saying nowadays.
Yes, that is a new Christmas favorite of mine. He really wanted to be Santa Claus in this, and it was freaking amazing. And kids were not spared in this one whatsoever. I was like, oh. He did not, no prejudice. He did not care. You're gone.
Yes. So the high body count, I take it, and all the imaginative kills that we come to expect.
Yes, and I know there were complaints that he uses, there's a scene where he uses a handgun, and then there's a scene where there's spoilers here. So quit, listening if you don't want to know. And then he also uses like a bomb, and it's like, okay, yeah, I know that's not typical. And I think some fans were disappointed in that, but I was like, you know what, he's being creative, going for, so.
See, no, I brought that up to David Howard Thornton when I interviewed him. I thought it was an odd choice. Although, it was played well, but in the first movie, when he used the handgun, to me, that was just a letdown. It was like,
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. You're right.
So he's no stranger to handguns. But anyway, so I guess if you kill somebody with one once, why not? Just, Go ahead and go for
Sure.
it. But he used to bomb in one scene, huh?
Yes, he does.
Wonder when that'll be streaming.
I went ahead and paid for it on Prime. I don't know if anyone's picked it up for, free with a subscription yet.
No. I'm sure they haven't. My God, I've got enough of these damn things. I should have. Anyway, but I might. Okay, so Prime does have it for rent. I might have to go in and rent it. I don't do that very often. Although, God, what was the name of the movie? Okay, everybody, I'm looking up something on IMDb real quick because, there it is, Reform School Girl. Lynn Eastman was in a movie called Reform School Girl, and that's one of only 3 movies that are streaming that she was in. And she played now I'm going to say home ec teacher or something like that. Let's see, what was her character? But anyway, yeah, home ec teacher. Apparently she was typecast. She also played it in another. But anyway, it was for rent, and it was like $5 or $6. And I said, yeah, I could build it to Brandon's card, I guess. So I could do that.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that one, like when I'm scrolling looking for, something to watch. I feel like I've seen that pop up, but I never gave it a chance.
Maybe we should. Who knows? I might have to do that this week. I might spend $5 or $6 and check it out. Reform School Girl.
Yeah. Live a little.
And we got a good crowd in the chat room tonight. Anyway, I haven't been to an actual theater for God knows when.
It hadn't been that long.
What did we go see?
I don't remember.
See? It's been a while, but I did. I got the closest thing to a horror movie that I've watched. Godzilla Godzilla and Kong, the new whatever it was. God, I'm terrible with names tonight. It's the old age creeping in. But anyway, where they fight the other King Kong, they fight another big gorilla. Apparently the Earth is just like flooded underneath the surface with giant gorillas. Just so you know.
Okay. And how did you like that one?
I liked it. Now, The only thing I'm going to say is, of the Kong and Godzilla movies, this one had the worst CGI. And you never hear me bitch about CGI hardly.
Oh, that blows.
Yeah, it did. It looked rushed. The
Okay.
storyline, everything was, the acting was fine as far as what do you expect from a Godzilla movie. But I just felt like the CGI looked rushed. Like they said, hey, that's good enough. That's good enough.
Oh, that's such a bummer. So disappointing.
Yeah, well, it's hard to do that with practical effects. The whole 300-foot monster thing. Back in the old days when it was only 50 foot tall, you could get away with it. So anyway, okay, we gotta drag this out. I gotta make it to the half-hour mark.
Okay,
okay. So that's all you've done. That's all I've watched. We are boring people.
What about, okay, this is not horror, but do you have Paramount Plus?
No.
Shit. Okay, I was going to say Landman. Holy crap.
Landman?
It's Billy Bob Thornton. So freaking good. And, Bad Santa is one of my other just favorite Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally feel like it's the same character, but instead of Christmas, it's oil.
I've seen the previews of that. Now, since you mentioned Bad Santa, I was so disappointed this year. All of my good Christmas movies were all on pay-per-view. I would have get new subscriptions. Netflix didn't have hardly. I couldn't even watch Christmas Vacation.
Oh no!
Yeah, the one with Mel Gibson that came out a couple years ago, where he's
are you talking about the one where it's like Will Ferrell and
No.
Fat Man.
Okay.
Fat Man. Mel Gibson and Fat Man. Terrific Santa Claus / Christmas movie. Violent.
We saw Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. That was the last thing we saw in the theater.
Oh yeah, same here.
So,
Forgot
but
about
anyway.
that. I was like,
So, okay, everybody, let's do our announcements.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Are we ready?
I got a piano over there. I can just pull it out. And I never played the drums. Okay, our first announcement, and I'm sure somebody in the chat room already knows this.
One person does.
At least one person does, because they reported it. Robert England. Robert England is returning this year to the Scarefest. Scarefest weekend 2025. I had to remember what year it was. Robert England is coming this year. We've got him as our first announcement right out of the gate. So we're going to start big and just keep piling on. Now, don't forget, January 10th. That's today. Yeah. That's when we've started our guest announcements. And I've got the next 4 or 5 weeks already. I just have to know what order to put them in. He's given me a bunch of announcements. January 17th, VIPs with registration. You will get your pre-sale, you know what I mean, early registration for VIPs. Those emails go out January 17th. February 1st, everything else goes on sale. All tickets to go on sale 7 p.m. on February 1st. On the 15th, vendor registration will be opening up March 1st. Speaker and media applications April 1st. The tattoo thing will start taking applications. And to throw in there, I believe February 1st is when the film festival starts taking entries. So that is all on the Facebook fan page. So you can check that out if you are in doubt. Now, they are apparently having the Central Kentucky Mystical Market this weekend, 11th and 12th, at the Clarion Hotel in Lexington, Kentucky. Despite the winter wonderland that we are living in, enough people wanted to have it that she decided to go through with it. So it is going on. If you need someplace to go, be safe, but the roads, if they can get those roads cleared off, tomorrow and Sunday, look them up on Facebook, and you can get more details about it. Now, let me get my little sheet of paper here. I'm getting a little more information about this Raven Ball. The Welcome to Nevermore, the Raven Ball. It's going to be a night of mystery and intrigue as we celebrate all things Edgar Allan Poe. Put on your Beth Gothic attire and dance the night away to hauntingly beautiful music. The event will take place on Saturday, September 6, 2025 at 8 p.m. And my script says secret location. I went on Mystic Luna. I went on the website, mysticlunaevents.com. And although there's conflicting, if you click on the ticket link, it does say Lexington. It says Clarion and Lexington. So, go ahead and mark your calendars if you don't go ahead and buy your ticket. But do go ahead and mark your calendars. September 6th. We had a lot of fun last year, last fall at her dance. And I was so disappointed that they canceled the February dance that she was planning. But she had a lot of family stuff going on and just didn't think she could get everything ready. But at this, get ready for a night of darkness and elegance that you won't soon forget. Don't miss out on this unforgettable evening. Once again, that is coming up September 6th. So mark your calendars. Go ahead and get your tickets. They go on sale February 15th. Tickets go on sale February 15th. I think that's all we got, ain't it? Ta-da! Now, that's why I wanted to wait till the second half of the show to talk about your infatuation with Freddy Kills.
Yes.
Now, is Nightmare, is that your favorite franchise?
Very much so. Yes. So yeah, I know during the con and the tattoo part, I need to go over there and see if someone will put like a nice little accent, Freddy glove on my left ash cheek. So I've been meaning to do that.
I'll have Sharpies. I mean, if you're running tight on time. As far as actual franchises, I might be with you on that. I know I like it better than Friday. And that might be just because Kane Hodder wants to kill me, but whatever. But no, I guess the reason, the first movie when she's the very first appearance, I think it was, of Freddy, when he's walking down and scraping his gloves on the fence and the building, stretched out. Yeah, that stood out in my mind. I'd never seen anything like that, and so from there on, I always enjoyed those movies. I always felt they just took it a step further. I'm not saying they were all great, but so you wanted to mention your favorite Freddy kills.
Yes. So I keep it as a top 3 with an honorable mention. So my number 3 would be from Freddy's Dead, Carlos with the hearing aid. So do you remember that when it? Okay.
I do. I mean, I'm remembering something about a character with a hearing aid. Okay.
Yes.
But I do not remember the actual kill. So tell me about it.
Okay. So Freddy snatches his hearing aid, and in the dream, he's like, I want my hearing aid back. So Freddy kind of, screws with it and gives it back to him. Well, what it does is it stretches everything out and gives him like this super hearing. So Freddy starts like just kind of torturing him and dropping like little needles it just makes it excruciating pain because it's just so loud in his head. So how he ends up actually killing him is he gets a chalkboard out and just starts raking his claws across the chalkboard, and it just makes you can see his ear pulsating.
Yeah.
And it's like when they make me cringe, those are my favorite kills, and his head just, of course, explodes.
That's the only part. That's the part I remember. I remember the exploding head. Okay, what's your number 2?
Number 2, let's see, that would be Dan from That Would Be Dream Child Part 5. So Dan is, dreaming, and he's trying to get to Alice, and he's on a motorcycle, and Freddy is in the motorcycle, and it's like all the wiring and whatever comes out of the motorcycle, and it goes into Dan's veins and all of his arteries and everything, and starts controlling him. Something about that, when it's like he like invades in your arms or in your veins and everything, that's just, I can't even say it. It makes me cringe so much. So he controls him, and he just drives him and makes him wreck. So that's my number 2.
And number
then
1.
Number 1 would be Dream Masters, when, of course, the puppet, that the same thing, the veins, the arteries, and he's just flicking them open and controlling him like a puppet.
Yes, now that I remember.
Oh God, that one gets to me so much. Oh my gosh.
See, now, now I remember that one now that you mentioned it. But I was telling Joanna before the show, everybody, why is my green screen doing this? I don't know.
Oh, I saw your blow up doll back there.
There we go.
Oh, it's the
anyway, when Johnny Depp gets killed in the waterbed, basically, that for some reason, that's one that stands out in my mind.
So there was Johnny Depp was killed in a regular bed in the first one. And then the waterbed one, that was that 4? That was
I don't know.
Dream.
You've already shown my lack of knowledge of it. I just remember, I'm pretty sure it was the waterbed one though.
His mom finds him in the waterbed.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
yeah.
That's from that's part 4.
Okay. So So I just lost all credibility on being a fan of the series. But I got to watch a lot of damn movies, everybody.
Indeed.
All right. Well, that is what we got about Freddy. But everybody, Robert Englund is our announcement for tonight. Let's go ahead. Let's show him our Bonehead Weekly spot for this week.
Hey, Scarefest, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly with another review of something that's on Hulu that I missed in the theater that has some great actors in it that I love that's just okay. The movie is called Cuckoo. I wanted to see it when it came out, couldn't get to see it. Finally came out on Hulu, and a friend of mine, Chad, said, you're going to be disappointed. I'm not overly disappointed. I like scenes in it, but it's just okay. And I'm going to give you some spoilers because it's damn near impossible to explain this without giving you some spoilers. And if you know what a cuckoo bird is, and if you Google the cuckoo bird and what it does, it damn near explains everything that you're going to find out about in this movie. It's about a 17-year-old girl named Gretchen, played by Hunter Schafer, who is fantastic. Cast in this is fantastic. And she leaves America, and you find out later that her mom's dead, and moves in with her dad and her stepmom and her stepsister at this resort in the German Alps. And it's got all the strange things going on, like there's noises, and there's these visions, and there's people you hear screaming, and the screaming makes you kind of stop what you're doing and freeze. Basically what happens is she finds out that some people in her family have made some deals, frankly, with the devil, kind of, but not actual devil. How should I put this? They're taking advantage. Dan Stevens is the main villain in this. And if you know who Dan Stevens is, he's in Abigail. He's one of the people that robs him. He is the Beast in the Beauty and the Beast, terrible live action film. He's in Kong. He's in a great movie called The Guest. Dan Stevens is a fantastic character actor who does a pitch perfect German accent in this, even though he's British as hell. Dan Stevens is fantastic as the villain. However, there's just not enough. So when you find out that he is the bad guy and that he's basically running this clinic to where he is controlling this thing that I won't talk too much about, and this thing is using people, it's kind of you're like, oh, but if you're into blood and guts and weirdness, there's a lot of blood and guts in this movie. There's a lot of weirdness, and the acting's fantastic. It's just overall, it's directed by a guy named Tillman Singer. I've never seen his other films. It's not a terrible movie. It's just okay. I feel like I say that a lot on here, but it's just okay. If you have Hulu, then watch it. For if nothing else, for the lead actress, Hunter Schafer. She's fantastic in this movie. And for Dan Stevens. They're both great. I just wish there was more of a payoff with who the creature is. And the creature does look cool. And the screaming thing does look cool. And I always get crap about saying the third act, but I do like the last 5 or 10 minutes. And the lead actress has to make a moral decision. And I'm curious if you all would make the same moral decision. I do like a lot of that. It's just overall, the movie's okay. It's nowhere near as good. Nowhere near as the previews or the trailers they were. I was all excited about this movie, and then I watched it and was like, I gotta stop getting overly excited about things and going in with a low expectation. That way I'm never just less than sad. So 2024's Cuckoo. It's on Hulu. If you have the Hulus, check it out. Some great acting, some blood, some violence with some guns. Not the best movie, probably middle of the road. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly.
Load me up there. Okay, everybody. Before we go, I do want to answer a few of the questions that have come through either Messenger or I've seen in the chat. Okay. No, they do not. The moment I mention a celebrity's name, nobody is sitting breathlessly by their computer to throw it up on the website. That is not practical. It usually goes up within 24 hours. Sometimes, because we have day jobs, it doesn't even get on the website that quickly. Now, Facebook, they actually do schedule it. They generally schedule it for 10 o'clock, meaning as soon as the show's over. So, that's why it doesn't magically appear on the website at 9:30, because this is part of my deal. I get to announce the celebrities for the most part. I'm selfish that way. Now, yes, we do announce every Friday. Some Fridays we'll announce one, some will announce two, some will announce, I announce like 6, 8 sometimes. Now, I shouldn't even say I don't do it every Friday, because some weeks no contracts come in. But sometimes, like when we have a reunion or something, they'll kind of push them together. So yes, we announce, don't we, Joanna? Almost up to the event.
Yes, that is correct.
So there, everybody. Yeah, we stretch this out. We tease you. We, as what's Katie say? Edge. We edge you right up to the event. So I understand some of you are new to the process, but Scarefest is, since I've been working for them, they used to announce, before I started working for them, they actually would announce once a week. They would when I started the show, before Patty started back then, she said, "Oh, that is perfect. You do the announcements every Friday night." And it is a long-standing tradition, and I like it. I like it a lot. So, we will have more announcements. Like I said, when I announced him, I've got an email full of announcements that we're going to trickle out over the next 3 to 4 weeks. So,
and they'll be coming in right behind that.
Yeah.
New.
As a matter of fact, I've got, I got 2 people that had to cancel last year that want to come this year, and I'm going to go ahead and get them under contract, and I'm not going to announce them until like 30 days. So if they have to cancel, I won't have stuck my neck out and put them out in public. So anyway, yes, and everybody, you see me wave my hand. There is a mosquito or a gnat or something flying around my studio. Before the show, he actually landed on the microphone, and he was loud. So, but yeah, we've got a lot of announcements. We've got a lot of good. Right now, we are looking at. We have. I'm going to say agent agreements, meaning they haven't signed yet, but we're at 50 right now. Right now, we've already got 50 names on our list that look like they're going to be coming. So, just so you know. And that is Scarefest TV for tonight. Load my end credits. I want to thank everybody for showing up.